Bing bong knock knock, hey daddy do. Bing bong tick tock, bebop boom. Flip flop up up, reedy mighty boom. Boppity boppity rock the room.
All right, here we are again. Ken Morse, Local 591 ZAP Director, and Tony.
This is Tony Lepore, Local 591's Benefit Coordinator and help with the EAP. How you doing today, Ken? Good to see
All
you.
right, doing good. How about you?
I'm doing well, thanks. How you been?
All right, all right. So, this segment, we're going to talk about long-term disability. We're going to go through this as a frequently asked question type format. So I'll ask Tony questions and he will answer them and you will be enlightened because he is our benefit guy. So, Tony, what is the maximum length of time you can collect long-term disability, first on the Hartford and then on MetLife?
Okay, Ken, let me put up my chart here and I will actually show you this. So for the Hartford plan, here's the chart for the Hartford plan. And this is the maximum amount of time that the Hartford, now let's make a distinguishment. The Hartford is the union long-term disability, and that is the disability long-term that we've had in the past. We are going to the company MetLife. So I'm going to be referring to the union Hartford and company MetLife plan. This is the union Hartford plan. And as you see, it goes with your age. So if you're at anywhere below age 61, if you're 60 or younger, it will pay to normal retirement age. And if you look at this chart, the very high portion, it says prior to age 61 to normal retirement age or 42 months, whichever greater, and etc. as you read it. As you're 69, it'll only pay for 12 months. So that is the Hartford plan on that. I don't know if I have, or I do not. So the new company plan will pay 60 or younger. It will pay to 65, age 65. So we're talking about MetLife with the company. That'll pay if you are 60 or younger, it'll pay to age 65. If you are 60 or older, it will pay for 5 years. It will only pay for 2 years for musculoskeletal issues. So let's just make that clear. Musculoskeletal, you'll get 2 years. Anything else, if you're under 60, it'll pay till 65. If you're over 60, it will pay for 5 years.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you, Tony. All right, Tony, the next thing I was going to ask you is, can you do a compare and contrast or just tell us what the premium costs are for the Hartford and the MetLife long-term disability plans?
Okay, so this is the Hartford Union, and the premiums have not changed. Just do realize that this is going to be renegotiated for 2022. So these premiums are good for 2021. If we do not have enough people, the premiums could skyrocket. So just be aware of that. I just want to make people aware of that. And as you could see on here, how the premiums go, it's income based, monthly costs. So you'll have to read this chart. This chart is on the local 591 website, and it gives you the formula in here. But just for an example, for a mechanic, we have, if you are under 50 years old as a mechanic, you are going to be paying in or about the range of $160. Remember, if you are under 50. If you are over 50, you will be paying $82. So that is with the Hartford plan. Ken, you want to pause it for a minute? This chart that we have up is a comparison chart on the long-term disability. The top one is for the Hartford, the bottom one is for the MetLife, and it shows our different work groups. So you could see how much you're paying, and just note that these are per pay period. So every 2 weeks, this is what your cost is going to be. So with those are the prices there.
So, Tony, when we go to enroll in LTD, what's the process for enrolling in the Hartford or enrolling in MetLife's long-term disability?
Okay, so enrolling in MetLife is through JetNet, through the benefits enrollment period and process. So you'll have to go onto JetNet. Everybody will be enrolled in the company MetLife this year. It's an open enrollment. It is a one-time thing. Everybody will automatically have long-term disability with MetLife. If you do not want that, you are going to have to go in and deselect it. But know that it's an open enrollment, and that if you want to go back into it, you will have to have an evidence of insurability. Secondly, it is a 2-year commitment. Once you enroll, you will have to keep it for 2 years. Now to the Hartford plan. We do not have the forms yet, but we will be coming up with the forms. They promised us they were going to come into the forms, and you are going to have to do evidence of insurability to enroll if you're a new enrollee. If you're an old enrollee, all you're going to have to do during the December time is just like we did with the short-term disability that last year, is we are going to have to put in a bank account, a bank. You're going to have to direct draft it through your check via JetNet and the pay section. It's going to have to be a direct deposit.
All right. Well, thanks, Tony. So, Tony, just to clarify, what is the process for paying for the Hartford LTD?
Paying for the Hartford LTD is going to require a form to be put in, and we are going to have to go on JetNet through the pay and do a direct deposit. Okay, so the question here is that I'm getting a lot of is, what happens if I don't want that? And we will talk about that shortly.
Go.
So if you do not want the Hartford long-term disability and you select the company MetLife long-term disability, all you'll have to do to get rid of the Hartford is in December, when the forms come out, is do not put them in. Do not put a direct deposit line into the bank. And into January 1st of 2021, your Hartford payroll deduction will stop. And if you choose MetLife, your MetLife payroll deduction will start. If you do not want a long-term disability and you deselect MetLife, both of your payroll deductions will stop, and you will have no long-term disability payroll deduction line.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, Tony.
I see when you
So, Tony, next question. How do we get a payroll authorization form? And once we have the form and it's filled out, where does that form go?
We are working on getting all the forms and documentation now that you'll need to enroll in the Hartford long-term disability plan. Once we get that, we will be letting everybody know. But as of right now, I have not received any of that information.
All right. Well, thank you. So, Tony, is there an EOI requirement for either the Hartford or MetLife?
Okay, evidence of insurability is EOI for the Hartford. If you are in the Hartford long-term disability plan now, if your paycheck says Union LTD, you will not need an EOI. If you are a new enrollee and you are looking to try to get into this plan, you will need an EOI, and we will also have those forms when they come available. MetLife, the company's long-term disability, this year only will not need an EOI. This year only is an open enrollment. Everybody will get in.
So, Tony, is the Hartford plan the exact same plan that we have had in the past?
It is, with 2 exceptions in the Hartford plan. There are 2 exceptions to the Hartford plan, 2 plan changes. And these 2 plan changes are a pension. There was a pension plan portion to the plan, and there was a Social Security backdoor portion to the plan. The pension portion of the plan, you built up a pension, and once you elected your TWU pension, then you'd get a supplement pension from the Hartford. That is no longer going to be there. That is plan change 1. Plan change 2 was if every long-term disability will require you to apply for Social Security disability, no matter what the plan is, when you go out. If you are exercising your long-term disability plan, they are going to ask you to file for Social Security disability. The plan change that went away, the Social Security backdoor plan, was if you were to get on Social Security with the Hartford, your premiums would go from 50% to 70%. That would help with the offset that you were getting from Social Security. That also has gone away. So be aware that those are 2 major parts of this plan, and very good portions of that plan, that have gone away. Also, I just want to mention on the MetLife plan to please remember that musculoskeletal, that's a big thing. And everybody, what does musculoskeletal mean? If I break my arm, okay, 2 years will be sufficient enough for me, and that's all it will pay out. I probably will not need more long-term disability on MetLife with a broken arm. But if I have my back injury or I have a neck injury that seems to be keeping most of our membership out, it will only pay for 2 years. But with that being said, you also have to remember if you're going to be out for 2 years and you're putting in for Social Security disability, you might get that Social Security disability. So those are two things that I want to mention. I also want to bring to your attention some possible scenarios with this that's going on. If the Hartford cannot sustain the amount of people that they have, because our plans are based on group and based on numbers. So if the Hartfords cannot maintain their numbers, the premiums could skyrocket in the year 2022. So just be aware of that. And also, they might not be able to sustain it. They might drop it. And if that's the case, you are going to have to do an EOI, evidence of insurability, with MetLife. Now, let me tell you, MetLife is a very hard to get. If you have anything wrong with you, they will deny you. If you're not in pristine health, if you had an operation within the past 2 years, I don't care what it was, they might not accept you. So those are just things that I want you to think about. And the question I'm getting is, what's the better plan? The better plan, just like the benefits, it's what's better for you, not what's better for me. I have my opinions. Ken has his opinions. Everybody has their opinions. This is up to you. I could give you the facts. Ken could give you the facts, but you guys got to make the decisions on which plans you want to go with. We just want to bring you all the possibilities. So I hope that helps with long-term disability, Ken.
It does actually, and thank you for that clarification, because I think those are important things to know. I did have one other point that I'd like for you to clarify. When you talk about the pension benefit for the LTD plan, that pension benefit is completely separate from the pension we've earned from American Airlines and comes right out of the LTD policy. Is that correct?
That is correct, Ken. What would happen was the Hartford would pull aside some of your payment, would pull back some of your payment, not much of your payment, and then you would get a pension when you exercised. It would come available to you when you exercised your TWU pension. And that could be, in some cases, $200 for the rest of your life. If you have been out on long-term disability with the Hartford before, you have built up a pension benefit. So when you are ready to retire, know that that is there for you.
But for 2021, that part of it will go away.
That is correct, Ken.
Okay.
That is correct.
All right. Again, thank you for that clarification, and thank you for covering LTD. I certainly appreciate that. And hopefully that's very helpful to our members. I know it was for me.
Thank you, Ken.